So today's topic is confidence. And I recently discovered a new YouTuber called Owen Cook and Julius himself. And these guys have a very interesting take on confidence and, self-worth and stuff. I've always had an idea that in order for you to be confident, you'd have to achieve something to then be confident about it. And it's essentially like your confidence is rooted in something. So either you make a lot of money, either you go to the gym and you get the physique, or you some people, this is a very bad trait, I guess, is that people will date someone very attractive and root their confidence in the fact that they were able to get this person. And through watching Hamza and through watching Alex Hamosi, the school of thought that I had was that you had to achieve something to be confident. So you had to go make the money, go get the physique, go get the girl, and then you can be confident. Whereas these dudes are like, you can want all that and you can have all that, but you should still be confident in who you are right now, even if you haven't achieved those things. And I mean, you could say that's delusion, and it is, because believing something that hasn't happened, that you have no proof of concept, is delusion. But self-belief is delusion. That's what it is. So I've just been really, I wouldn't say conflicted, but confused, because it's like you either believe in the fact that once you achieve this physique, or once you achieve this thing, then you can get the confidence, or you should just be confident in who you are now, and you can change that. Just because you're confident in who you are doesn't mean you don't have to change. But what I'm starting to realize, and something that just popped into my head now, was maybe it's not the fact that you achieved the physique, or that you made the money, or that you did whatever, you got the output. I think maybe it's the fact that you're confident you were able to do the process. You were able to go through the motion. You go to do those 1,000 workouts in the gym, do those 1,000 phone calls to make the sale and whatever. Maybe that's what it is. But anyway, it's just a short video. Maybe I'll make a longer one. But yeah, it's just it's a thought that I had. I mean, there is an argument that sorry, not an argument. There's a thing that Owen Cook says, and he says, if your confidence is rooted in something, then it can be taken away from you. And maybe that is true, because if your confidence is built on the fact that you've built this awesome physique, and for whatever reason, Allah forbid, you get into a car accident or something, and then you lose a physique, will you lose the confidence? Will it take you a long time to regain that confidence? Maybe. And I think the frame that they pursue confidence with is, be confident in who you are now. Like, find out what is your constraint. Because from all the videos I've watched, it's very interesting. For me personally, it's like, I always had this idea of like being perceived as cool. Like, oh, that dude's cool. And what it actually boils down to is like validation from other people. Then you got to ask yourself, like, okay, why do I want validation from other people? Why is my own validation not enough? If I say, I'm cool, why is that not enough? And what you'll find is sometimes it relates to like past trauma, where I don't know, your dad didn't love you enough, your mom didn't love you enough, you didn't have a dad, you didn't have a mom, something like that. But there was an element of that missing from your life, and so you try to fill it using other people. And that's a bad idea, because you can't control other people, you can only control yourself. And if you can give yourself the validation you need, then you'd essentially get to a point. I assume I haven't achieved this yet. I'm speaking like I'm still on my journey as well. But I'd assume that you'd be a lot more confident, because one, you wouldn't care. Because think about it. If you were able to solve the problem of the validation that you'd need from other people, you wouldn't care about other people. You'd be like, I don't need anything from them. And look, we're all human beings. Most of us, not all of us, but like human beings are transactional. When you meet someone, there's a value exchange. If I am someone who's not rich and I meet someone who's rich, there's a value exchange. but they don't gain anything. I gain it, most of the stuff, because that's how it works. Whoever has more value and whoever has less value, and they meet, it sort of, I wouldn't say equalizes, but you know what I'm saying. There's a value exchange when you meet people. So if you don't, so if you meet some, if you like don't care for the validation of other people, then you essentially become free because you're not constrained by anything. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe you got to find out what it is that makes you comfortable. What do you fantasize about that? Like, oh, once this happens, once I make, X amount of money, once I get this physique, like, girls are going to fall over for me, or business opportunities will be, whatever it is, that person will notice you, your dad will give you approval, your mom will say she loves you, whatever it is that you hope will happen once you achieve whatever it is you want to achieve. Boil it down to what it really is. What is it? Is it the validation? Is it the approval? Is it that you want to feel loved? And then the hard part, I have no idea how to do this, by the way. This is just something I recently learned from Julius himself, and it's like something called trigger, release, repeat. I think it's that. And what it is like you trigger that feeling of like, what you need, I think. You then like meditate and release it. And look, there's different ways of going about it. Some people are like Alex Hormozi or Hamza or Tate. Okay, not Hamza. Like Alex Hormozi and Tate, where they're just like, fuck all that. I'm just gonna work. Like, and they figure it out through their way. Then you get people like Hamza and these guys who I'd say are more like spiritual, where they will be like, meditate, release this out, and do it in a, I'd say maybe a more repeatable way, because Alex and Andrew Tate are very particular people. They're very competitive and they're very driven people. So they do not care about how they feel. They will just do what it is that needs to be done. Whereas Hamza and these guys seem more human, is the word I'd use. They're like, they have flaws. They not that they don't have flaws, but it's that you can see the flaws in them, and that they'll fix it and they'll teach. It's more like it's easier to repeat what they do than it is to do what Andrew and them do, because Andrew and them, they just brute force. I don't care if I'm sad, my dad died, whatever, I'm gonna work. Whereas some people may not be like that. So back to the original question of whether you should root your confidence in something or not. It's a very interesting thing, and I guess it's only something we're gonna find. It's something I'm gonna have to find out. But I think obviously there's a balance. You could figure out what you're deficient in terms of like, okay, being confident. Like let's say you are overweight and you think, okay, if I lose weight, then I can be confident. What if you just act confident now and start the process of losing weight? Like what is it about being overweight that doesn't make you confident? And that's questions everyone's gonna have to ask themselves. For me, I guess it's maybe that like, you don't get that like, is that like a movie scene? Like, in the movie when there's the dude walks in and then the chick like stares at him and the whole world stops. Like, you don't get that. But then wanting that is wanting something. And from what I can think of, it seems like it's just another form of validation. It's like this person thinks I'm attractive, or this person thinks I'm cool. And if I can find a way to give that to myself, then I won't be dependent on that, and then I can sort of overcome that barrier. But I don't know. I will give an update in the future once I have achieved what I want to achieve, and who knows? Maybe it'll come sooner than we think. Take care.